All right, listeners, we are here and we are back with the Chinese Grand Prix weekend. It's a sprint weekend, our first one of the season.
Pew, pew, pew,
Ew, ew,
pew.
ew. All righty, so we're going to jump right in because we got a little quick one today. And we're going to start with F1 Project Runway and what not to wear. I'm going to switch it up so we can get that one out of the way.
Yeah.
Because, listeners,
We ain't got
it was
much.
not giving. It was not giving. Nothing.
Like literally nothing.
Literally
y'all.
giving nothing. So I'm gonna start with my what not to wear because once again, it was giving nothing. And my what not to wear, I'm gonna say it's really difficult because once again, nothing being gave. But my what not to wear is actually Liam Lawson.
What do you wear?
And it is when he was walking with Max through the fan zone. Go to Kim Illman's account. You can see it there. And I say this because I personally feel that this jacket, a little bit long cut, it's like a drop waist length on him, you know? So it stops at his wide point on his hips. And I think that makes him look really, really short. And I love a short king. We all know. I love a short king.
It chops him, though.
It really chops him, and then his pants are also super wrinkled, but not in like a fun denim way.
Also, I think he wears his pants looser than Max does.
That is true.
So the actual crotch point of his pants is dropped, which also makes him look
look way shorter than Max. Because if you look at the top of their heads,
they're only a couple inches off.
Only a couple inches. But their crotches, he's a foot below Max, it looked like. So I'm like, what are we... Come on.
But Max likes his pants fitted, and Max does
like his pants fitted. Loose. But even then, I gotta say, these are some of the most relaxed jeans I've ever seen Max Verstappen in.
Listen, Max has relaxed his jean wear. He's
relaxed his jean wear. If y'all don't know, look up Max Verstappen skinny jeans.
Those quads were getting hugged.
And listen, I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. However, he looks better in these relaxed jeans. To nobody's surprise, because she ate down
I feel
all
like
weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Alexandra St. Below.
Come on. Mama said,
God.
Mama said we're going to be finger on the pulse and we're going to be a baddie while we do
look
it.
After look after look. Short black and red dress. Long tweed
black
pantsuit. Long black dress. And they all pull from the same inspiration from Chinese fashion, but in different ways. Literally every morning I woke up and went, Alexandra St. Below. What this is there today? I love her. I think she's
every day
so fashionable. I think she is a perfect wag. I pray I get to see her as a wag for decades and decades more.
Not decades.
I love her. Charles, let's get to it.
Congratulations, young man.
Keep her on my screen, Charles. Keep her on my
young
screen.
Man.
Don't bring one of her friends around here. Keep her on my screen.
Oh, not one of her friends.
I'm making a joke. People always like to say that Charles dates within the same friend group because I guess this girl and his ex-girlfriend are like technically friends.
They were.
Okay.
All right, I can pass it on. Who has some?
Okay, so
let's go.
My overall Project Runaway is... Oh, my bad.
You can go ahead.
I'll be quick. I'll be quick. My overall is going to be Alexandra, of course, with a nice little honorable... Right. But a nice little honorable mention to Lily, Almond's girlfriend, because she does a quiet eating, and I like her. She slides in and out, and her outfits are still cute, like that white shirt with the little bows on it that she wore, I think, on race day. It was very cute, very subtle. I liked it. As far as what not to wear, I'm going to give it to every single F1 driver on the grid because they
did we even get anything?
Made a choice.
I feel we got nothing.
There was nothing. That's why they all win. It's a team effort.
I'm going to Lewis's fashion account right now.
Grid wide.
There's nothing.
Grid wide.
He must not have shown up in anything this weekend. They didn't post anything.
This is how they make me feel with their fashion.
Listeners, we've got a gray ass photo of Nico Hulkenberg looking sad because he drives a Sauber now.
Oh, and got no points. Even though he put in a little work, I was. Wait, no, it wasn't him. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
not him. It wasn't him.
I gotta give an honorable mention. What to wear? known as our Project Runway.
Who?
Have y'all seen Zhou Guanyu's fashion?
Oh my God!
His what?
Zhou Guanyu's fashion spread.
He's in his model bag.
Mm-hmm.
Zhou is in his model. When you sent that to the thing, I was like, I had seen it, but I forgot to send it to y'all, and it just brought it back up again. I love him.
Yeah, so Vex, if you check our texts via Insta, I sent Zhou Guanyu's fashion spread. And I think he ate down. He did a fashion set for Bazaar. Arms,
Joe,
eating. Hair, eating. Face, eating. Fashion, eating. All of it's so good.
Down.
It's really good.
Boots.
So, honorable mention, he's not on the grid, but arms like that will get you a Project Runway every day of the week.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Okay.
My thing went off. I was looking at it.
Well, I am not going to be entertaining because mine is really just going to be copying all of y'all's. Alexandra, amazing. Queen. Whole weekend. She was really good. I will give an honorable mention to Lewis because I did he was wearing some of his plus 44 fashion.
What? Can you send pictures? Because I tried to find him. I didn't see a single picture of him.
So he just he just basically wore his own merch, basically.
But
of course it's Lewis, so he ate.
Hold on. There's a video I can send y'all. But it's cute. It's a little it's a bomber jacket. He looks really put together. He's wearing Tim's. It's very Lewis-esque, but it's nothing to actually reward. You know, he did the least. But all you have to do is the least here in F1 because no one else is doing anything.
You know what? Yeah, this is the best outfit any of the men wore this weekend, last weekend, anything.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's cute. And it's cute. Its own brand, so, you kind of take away a couple points from
okay. Okay. Did he wear it to the paddock?
No, I don't believe so. I think he was. This was at a hotel or something.
Okay.
No, he did a pop up. I think he did a pop up for his
off track.
So it shouldn't count, but I'm gonna count it because he was in Shanghai.
That's okay. It's not like Alexandra's driving a car.
Exactly.
We got her.
Okay.
And then for my what not to wear, I'm gonna follow Felicia's lead and give it to the rest of the paddock because it was a big no. I saw a couple of outfits.
What is going on this year?
Pierre Gasly and I saw Lando, but they're just wearing sweatshirts, hoodies, and some baggy pants. So I was just not really rewarding it. Not really. I don't really care. It's not enough to even make me do a second glance. So that's it.
Not even remotely. Not even remotely.
All right. Well, disappointing week. We said that last week. They need to step it up in Japan. I expect better things with Japan. All right. So we're going to do some news. I've got 4 points. Some of them are fun and funky. Some of them are a little crazy. So first one, due to some sort of, I don't even know what, there were rumors that the F1 cars were going to be delayed in transit and that Mercedes, Red Bull, Aston Martin, and McLaren were going to miss FP1, and it's a sprint weekend, so that would have absolutely fucked them.
So I was...
Well, you're talking this was ahead of China?
This was ahead of China. They were going to miss FP1.
Yeah. They were, so I believe there's some issues with, I don't know, customs.
Their freight flight,
Freight, there you go. And so they were talking about how it was just due to, I guess, how they sent it or the carrier that they used. It got caught up in customs and there were all these issues. Because Ferrari didn't have any issues. And also the other teams that weren't named, they didn't have any issues. But it all worked out for them.
With how long they've been transporting these cars in this manner, how?
So
this is the thing. Oh, sorry. You go.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So this is the first year that they're doing these geo-located races. So the problem here was normally Australia and China aren't back-to-back. You don't got to do Australia to China customs.
Mm-hmm.
This time they had to do Australia to China customs, and that was where it fell apart. They've never had to do that before.
And it was so tight.
Mm-hmm.
Because
basically, normally what happens is that they leave like they pack everything up on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It gets flown there. It shows up on like maybe Tuesday, so that they can work all day until Friday to put it all together, right? Anyway, it was looking like the freight was going to show up Wednesday or Thursday, which would have cut down on their getting ready time by like 2 days. Anyway, so our next piece of news, and I want to type it into the chat so that you can see the spelling of it, because I don't think either of you know this internet term. And if you do, then I've learned something new about you and we can chat.
Go on, man.
You're giving this like really toxic zillennial energy.
No, I don't know what that is.
Exactly. My quote that I put in my notes is Max and Lewis toxy yowie yet again.
Is it because they were both?
No. It was because Lewis got some feedback from the media about his radio messages to his engineer being like, Lewis was being mean to his engineer, right?
By saying, leave me to it, please.
Yes. Right? We all know that's bullshit. So Lewis gets in the press and he says, look at Max. The way Max abuses GP every weekend, y'all don't say this about him.
Oh, hell.
Twitter exploded.
Lit the
My
fuck
God. Up. It was like 2021 all over again on that goddamn site. And I was like, y'all don't get Lewis and Max's toxic yaoi energy. Okay? You guys don't get them.
Okay, toxic. What is yaoi? What is this?
Okay, so I'm also probably saying it wrong because let it know I've never said it out loud to a person. It is something I have encountered on the internet in my many years of being an internet demon. So, listeners, in case you don't know, yaoi is a Japanese term for fiction that depicts romantic relationships between men. Yuri
it's called otherwise known as boys' love.
Boys' love, right? And the reason why I say Max and Lewis toxic yaoi yet again is because Max and Lewis love to do this thing where if on Monday they talk shit in the press, on Tuesday they're going, besties. They're amazing. They're a legendary talent. I've looked up to him. He's a pro. I'm like, guys, this back and forth can't be good for anybody. And let you know, the next day after sprint quali, Lewis is in the press. Max is so fast. He's so good. Da, da, da. I'm like, guys.
But also think about the fact that Lewis was very much happy after sprint quali.
Yeah. Toxic yaoi yet again. So that's all I had to say. Twitter blew up.
Lewis finds himself in too many yaoi situations.
Lewis has had yaoi with, I swear, you put a blonde man from that part of Europe on the grid.
Stop.
Lewis said, he's mine. Rosberg, Vettel, Max.
That one.
I want that one.
What's his name? Valtteri Bottas?
Valtteri. Put a blonde man from that part of the universe on that track. Lewis is in there. That's his thing.
Like swimwear.
He
has a type. It's okay.
He's the doctor playing Operation, you know?
Okay.
If you know, you know, listeners. Stream it. Stream XDNA. Stream it. Stream that song with Christina. That's all I'm going to say.
Get out.
Anyways, my next piece of news for us. As we all know, Cadillac is going to be an F1 team. We all know this.
So we are officially going to have 11 teams on the grid come, 26 or 27?
I think 26. And ladies,
watch.
Checo Perez is in talks to rejoin the grid with the Cadillac team.
Checo!
I think that's a waste of a seat.
Checo's name has been dropped a lot this weekend, as we'll talk about. In fact, in my next piece of news, we're going to talk about it. But Checo may be coming back with Cadillac. We'll obviously keep you posted, and we'll get to it. Anyway.
I think that's a waste of a seat because while I definitely believe Checo should not have lost his seat in the manner in which he did, I don't necessarily think he needs to be back on the grid. Give that to younger, newer talent. Give them a chance. That's just my.
A new team like Cadillac would probably need the money that a Checo could possibly bring them.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
they need that Disney money.
As soon as I said it, I was like, money wise, that's a good move for them. As a new team. How long they'll keep him there is different. Because if they manage to get another whatever, like someone who's like more of a rookie who will also bring in lots of money, they can get rid of Check. Well, you can't beat Disney money. I'm sorry. It's the devil, but it's Disney money.
They got that money. And my last piece for us today from the news segment, which technically, could I leave it for post-race so we have context? Sure, but I'm not going to. Ladies,
go ahead, say it. Go on, do it.
Gents who aren't here.
Not James. Not James.
Liam out, Yuki in, motherfuckers. And is that a good thing?
Who the fuck knows?
Official? Wait, Paul. Is that
it's
official?
Basically official.
It's basically official.
Ralph Schumacher got his ass up on Sky Sports.
That one.
And does Ralph talk shit? Absolutely.
I don't even know who that man is, but they said Sky Sports. I said, oh no. Oh no. Mm-hmm.
So,
who is Ralph Schumacher, by the way?
He is Michael Schumacher's brother, I believe.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't actually bother looking.
Yes. So he does chat a lot of shit, but
I mean, honestly, yeah. He's kind of isn't he kind of in a position where he can talk shit openly?
Kind of.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Is Ralph Schumacher the one who came out as gay?
Why the snickering?
Is Ralph Schumacher the one who came out as gay?
Did he?
Maybe. I think so.
Scandalous.
I'm snickering because what did you just say? You were talking about Ralph Schumacher, and after that his brother, you were like, I don't know. And then after it was like he's talking shit, but as soon as she said that, I said, what else is new? And I think you took my what else is new as to his talking shit, but my what else is new is to you not knowing anything.
Shut the fuck up, you asshole.
Anyways, we don't have time for your sparring.
The two of you are supposed to be teaching me. That's the point of this podcast.
And we are. You're being taught.
Not to bully me. Shut up.
Girl, y'all. I don't have time for y'all to be beefing right now. I gotta go watch Glee. So I need
you
y'all
were
to get
born into this. You're
Glee
used to it.
Glee?
I have to go watch Glee with my man, and y'all are keeping me from watching Glee. So
First off, please, I'm begging you, tell me you are not forcing that poor man to watch Glee. That is a grown man. Why are you making him watch Glee?
I don't force him to do anything. He is 27 years old. He's
man
an adult. I don't force him to do anything.
So he's going to say yes. You are the one proposing these absurd ideas, because what grown man is going to say, yes, honey, I want to watch Glee from beginning to end.
He's a music teacher.
Oh, I forgot that.
He's enjoying Glee.
He might actually be enjoying it, Bex.
He's enjoying Glee. He is enjoying Glee. He can probably hear me right now if he doesn't have his AirPods in. He's enjoying Glee.
Almost guarantee you he's watching that more because he loves you than because he wants to watch.
Doesn't mean he's not enjoying.
Okay, let's move on.
All right. Continue. Anyway, that's all my news. Do you have any other news? Any other hot tea from the grid?
No. My hot tea was going to be talking about Yuki and Liam, but we can kind of go.
And the other one we're going to talk about later, right?
I really am not in the
You'll
mood.
bring it up, I'm sure.
I don't really want him to.
Yes.
You know which one I'm talking about?
No, but you can bring it up later.
Okay. Well, okay. Go ahead.
You go. You go back. Sorry.
No, I don't know what's going on today. But this is so off the rails. It's actually quite entertaining. I would say the thing is about for Yuki, like I really actually don't want him to get that seat, and I don't know if y'all have seen this. There's been a lot of conversations about like that car and how it's really much geared towards what's his face, yes, and how it's going to be hard for anybody who is not Max to get in that seat. And for me, I am like you. If I was Yuki, I would have been like, you didn't want to give it to me when I asked for it. Don't give it to me now. Now that your first choice stunk up the joint. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm winning here. I'm doing well here.
Maybe Yuki likes a really sharp car though.
I think Yuki wants to prove a lot because he kind of. I'm not gonna lie. And from what I'm understanding, Yuki's basically living on borrowed time. He's pretty much out.
Yes,
at the end of the season.
Damn.
Especially because that Honda deal is up, and so he may just want to be like, I want to go balls to the wall and show that even if I'm not here RB next year, I still have a seat. but I just feel like it's a little bit of a curse. See, I mean, like, I think hasn't that boy been through the most teammates on the grid? More so than anybody else in a very short amount of time. So, no.
Also, Max himself said that car
is undrivable.
And if they've made it for Max and he's struggling to drive
and
it,
he's saying it's undrivable.
And also, too, maybe it's just me, but I don't understand why RB would take. I mean, I understand why they want to favor their 4-time winning champion driver, but what if tomorrow Max is like, deuces? You have a car that no one else can drive.
Yes,
it's going to take. You're going to be at the bottom of the grid.
You have to make a whole new car.
Not like a whole. I just feel like there's an in between of favoring Max and making sure he had the car that he likes without like also kind of completely screwing other drivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
but then also Max, the person that you catered the car to, is struggling with the car and flat out saying that car is ruining people's careers.
Yeah,
just saying.
Literally. All right, let's pop in, ladies. Let's pop into
pop out and show.
I love that song. Let's pop out into the Chinese Grand Prix weekend. It was a sprint weekend, and y'all, in case you couldn't tell from the way that we talk, we live in the old USA.
What up?
This was a tough weekend. Me and my friend Anthony, who is separated from me by a wall and can probably hear every word I'm saying on the podcast. Shout out Anthony, if he can hear me right now. We woke up for every single session.
Wow.
Of this weekend. We were down bad.
I bet
it was not good. It was not
good.
Good.
I had the same thing. Only thing I missed out was the sprint shootout. Because, to be honest, my days... Because I think... Was that the day I was working?
Anthony sent a fist emoji in response to us here.
But, yeah, I mean, only thing I missed was the sprint shootout. I just ended up going back and watching that. And, I mean, I was on shift, working, watching the sprint. I was like, I got home so late, I decided, okay, I can watch the sprint. No, I can watch qualifying. And then I literally... On Sunday morning, I had to go and minister at church. And I had to be there at like 6. I was like, let me just wake up at 2 and watch. When I tell you, my whole day was messed up yesterday.
I bet it was.
Whole day.
We had a friend's birthday party Saturday night. And so I personally had about 6 to 7 espresso martinis before the race. Our friend had thrown up in the sink and filled the sink to the brim. I had just gorged myself on Wendy's that I didn't really like. And so I was struggling. I was really struggling. It was a night.
Oh, honey.
It was a time. It was a weekend. It was a weekend.
Oh, we had a time last night.
That was me waking up after watching that race. I got maybe from Friday to Sunday morning, maybe 7 hours of sleep. Mayhaps. I was struggling.
Yeah, but, I'm sorry. I love y'all, but I'm not losing sleep over it.
And did I struggle for an amazing, interesting race weekend?
Sure didn't.
I didn't. It was okay. It was fine. We've had worse race weekends. Race weekends. Lord knows that.
But it wasn't wreck your sleep cycle worthy.
No. So I'm going to need Japan to deliver. Because
come on,
it's not going to be as bad, but I believe in them. All right. We have the sprint shootout coming up first. And I personally don't understand how to talk about quali in an interesting way. So maybe that needs to be our goal for this year, is to find an interesting way to talk about quali. But SQ1 was a little bit interesting. For 3 reasons. Okay. Although 2 of those reasons are the same reasons. One, Hülkenberg and Ocon both got out-qualified by their rookie teammates. Sure insane. But also, 2, somehow, someway, Liam Lawson qualified 20th. Somehow, someway. And listen.
But
listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. A lot of people this weekend, mostly people who are overly sympathetic to rookies, and I say overly because you can be sympathetic to rookies, but sometimes you gotta pop out and show, you know? I can believe that Red Bull sucks. You will have me a hard time believing it's worse than a Sauber. I simply don't believe that they made a car worse than a Sauber.
Yeah, I mean, worse than literally every car on the grid.
I don't believe that they made a car that can be outdriven by a Sauber. So if Bortoleto can qualify 14th, no reason you should be qualified at 20th if Bortoleto can qualify 14th. Bortoleto.
Liam. But you know what I found really funny? You know what I found really funny, speaking of the Saubers? When they brought Nico in. No, when Nico's engineer came on the radio and said, that's P19, and he goes,
What? I do love when drivers are really shocked by their own qualifying positions because they're like, I just put in a banger lap. And it's like, that banger lap wasn't for shit, bro. That was a
right-on banger. Where are we? P19. What?
P19. I hated that. But yeah, I didn't think SQ1 had anything too spicy. Just a lot of people qualifying lower than they should have. But hey, we'll see how Lawson does in real qualifying.
Also, on that track,
messy.
That first little series of turns, what the fuck is that?
There's a lot going on. I feel like China has a lot of.
There's that one like long turn that they always say like it kind of messes people because it's longer than you think it is.
But so, that's different than the ones that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that little snake thing that they have. The first, I think, 3 turns that they have. No, okay, fine.
No, sorry, Queen.
Never mind.
So right.
Nah.
But next up we've got SQ2. Once again, not much happens, but we do get some rookies going out. Hodger, Rip Our Baby, Bortoleto also out. Bierman also out. Sainz and Alonso also out.
I'm proud of the rookies for holding it on.
They did great. Now, I do have questions for Alonso, like how is he getting out-qualified by Lance Stroll, but those are, you know what, sometimes being an old man starts to get to you.
Yep.
And that's not his fault.
It's about I'm just looking at a lot of people who have been like on the grid for like a long time, like Nico, side-eyeing, Esteban, Pierre Gasly. But funny enough, like Alonso's one person.
Esteban and Pierre less so.
I just think it's because like Alonso's sort of like in Aston Martin where no one actually cares about them. They're not bad. They're not good. And so he can just skate by without anyone.
You're not bad. You're just nice.
Yeah, and no one questions them. No one's like looking at him like, sir, you need to come up out that seat because you're not doing anything with it. But, sir, you need to come up out that seat because you're not doing anything with it. And Lance ain't going anywhere because Daddy owns his team. So you got to be, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But anyway.
All right. And then for SQ3, it was very interesting because Lewis got pole.
Wait,
the first Ferrari sprint pole and Lewis's first pole with Ferrari.
Woo! Quickly.
What?
I just want us to reverse back to SQ2
we can reverse
quickly and go to Williams, right? One. No. Well, the first one is good. I like to see Albon punching that little Williams around and making something happen. I thought that was great. Now, 2. Why the fuck is Carlos's seat coming out?
Questions I can't answer you.
Maybe they didn't have enough money to buy any nails.
Bolts to put the seat in?
Bolts. Yeah, maybe they didn't have enough money for those.
I said, what do you mean your seat is coming out? He said, this seat is coming out. I said, okay. All right.
But anyway, I'm also like, you're in such a tight space. Hold it down.
What'd you say?
I said you're in a tight space. Just hold it down. Anyway.
That man is going 200 miles per hour. And you said hold it down.
Not like with your hand, but with your butt. Like just crunch.
Again, 200 miles per hour.
Not all the time. You got to take corners.
Most of the time. Bitch, As I continue, let's go back to what really matters.
We got SQ3. Lewis got pole, his first sprint pole. Ferrari's first sprint pole. We got our babies qualifying in a great order. Lewis P1, Max P2, Oscar P3, Charles P4. We have Kimi as our only rookie to qualify in SQ3.
I'm proud of Kimi this weekend.
He did great. Like I said, he's my baby goat. I love him.
Baby goat.
He's my baby goat. When Max retires, I'll be switching to being a Kimi Antonelli fan. And Oscar, obviously.
But you know what I really liked? That Lewis did not celebrate his pole as if he had just won, unlike his ex-teammate. Lewis got out of that car like a normal person, went over, dapped up his engineer, said thanks, woot, and then went and did his little interview. Also, oh wait, no, that's for the race. Never mind. Go ahead.
So,
sorry.
Go ahead.
What did you want to say, Bex? What did you want to say about quali?
No, go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say anything about quali. Actually, I was gonna move on to the race.
I was gonna talk about Lando deciding to not show up to work.
Oh yes. Okay, wait. No, actually, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this.
What happened?
Because I have 2 points to say. One of them's funny, one of them's not. One, I kind of love where the pit straight is in this track. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, every time they would put the camera down the last corner, and somebody would go to the pits, one you could see, but it also looked like they lost their brakes. And they were flying off track. So multiple times I was like, oh my god! Thinking somebody was about to crash. They were just going to go pit. Speaking of pitting, though, Lando Norris really did not feel like completing his laps this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh! Both Q3s, spoiler for the next Q3, but both Q3s, that man on his final lap decided,
I'm good.
I'm
just don't feel like it today.
I'm actually not going to keep trying. And I'm like,
no.
I feel like we should have gotten this together.
he got on the radio and said, we got it.
Yeah. So, disaster. But,
yeah.
C'est la vie.
They kept blaming it on this, headwind? But
I don't give a fuck about the headwind.
Oh, okay.
It's a racetrack. You have to be able to drive even when it's windy.
Y'all were driving in torrential downpour last week, so yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else drove with a headwind. Did the headwind only materialize for McLaren?
This is true. Oscar did it.
Well.
We got the same car.
Anyway, I think we can move on to the sprint. And could I say the sprint was interesting? Only for a couple laps. But that's okay. It's a sprint. We love it. It's whatever. As mentioned, we have Lewis lining up first, Max lining up second, Oscar lining up third, then we got the baddies filing in behind them. Notably, because he decided to bail out on his last lap, Lando is sixth. Cool. There are only 2 notable things I took away from this, 3 notable things I took away from this sprint. 1, Liam Lawson loves crashing into a bitch randomly. He loves crashing into somebody for no reason either. How did he hit Doohan and Bortoletto?
No one knows.
In the course of 19 laps. That's not a lot of laps.
And when he maybe wanted someone to commiserate with him.
What was he just pissed that he's like, well, it's not gonna work out, so let me just take a couple of these motherfuckers out while I go?
I think he just doesn't know how to drive that car, because he looks like someone, you see kids who are driver's ed. That's kind of what he's giving a little bit, whoa whoa whoa.
You're so funny.
He just looks like he does, he's never driven a car before, and it's actually quite fascinating. But also, if I was a driver, I would be come and get your man.
There she goes.
Well, NT wait. Oh,
no, I would just say sorry. Yeah, I would just say that if I was them, I would be come get your man. He's dangerous. He doesn't know how to drive the car, and that's an internal issue. But I can't be out here risking my life with all these other crazy ones, and you got this one who doesn't even know how to drive. Come and get him off of this track.
Get your man. All right, so that was thing number 1 that I took away from the sprint. Thing number 2 that I took away from the sprint was on lap 1, Lando dips a wheel into the gravel, and that's where his race falls apart.
Completely.
Lando slips back from P6 to P9, and he only recovers 1 place over the entire course of the race. And this 1 place is what I want to talk about. It's my item number 3. Because do you guys remember who he had to pass to recover this 1 place?
Wait, hold on. Don't tell me. I know it. It was, wait,
he was stuck behind someone. Who was it? It wasn't Kimmy.
Mm-mm.
Lance Stroll.
Stroll.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I remember for some reason, and it's just sort of like, how did you get stuck behind Lance Stroll?
Sorry, we didn't even talk about that illegal McLaren, which may be the reason why they struggled so much this weekend.
Wait, say that again?
I said we didn't even talk about that illegal McLaren wing, which might be the reason why they struggled so much this weekend.
What is up with McLaren and their wings? Can they get their wings together?
What's up is the FIA had no backbone last season, and so they did not discipline them appropriately.
And so they just did it again.
Yes. But I think that McLaren struggled a little bit comparatively because they couldn't use their mini DRS, but they still have their weird tire cooling situation. I'm sure they'll be fine. But yeah, Lando slips back to P9, makes it to P8. That's really the most exciting thing that happened, is watching whether or not Lando would pass Lance Stroll. And listeners, it did take him 17 laps to pass Lance Stroll.
She's so annoying.
I'm reading the race notes.
Listen,
people are mad at me for reading the race notes.
Speaking of his tires, at one point, I think it was right after he dipped into that gravel, he reaches out to his engineer and he's like, oh, what are my tires like? What are my tires like? And his engineer is like, oh, visually your tires look worse than everyone else's, right? And he goes, well, then I need some help, don't I? I was like, sir.
Like, there's no point in pitting.
Why are you being sassy with your engineer when you dipped your car into the gravel? 1. 2, what's he going to do for you at this point?
That's what I'm saying.
You gonna pit during the sprint race?
Hey, people did it.
I mean, I know. I know it's doable. I know people do it, but
it's doable if you want to come last, Carlos Sainz. If you want to come almost last, you can pit.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, let's go.
Anyways, that's all that happened. Lewis wins the sprint race. We love that for him. Oscar comes second. Max comes third. Another funny moment is that when they were giving out their little sprint trophies, they kind of looked like little metal CDs. And you see Max get handed the CD, look at it, go to Lewis and the camera. What is this? And then take the photo. It was so funny because he was clearly just like, what the fuck is this? This is the trophy?
Listen, say what you will about Max. Oh boy is funny. I can't even lie.
He's really funny.
Oh boy is funny.
So relatable. But all right. We love a Lewis win. I love that for him. He was so cute when he did it.
He was so happy.
Did he carry that energy throughout the rest of this weekend?
You know what? We're not going to talk about it.
We're not. Mm-hmm.
We're just not going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is have a great week, listeners. We'll see you in Suzuka.
Yeah. Actually, the race weekend ended here. We didn't even have quali or a race.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, didn't have
19 laps was all it was this week.
Literally. All right. But
we lost one. Continuing on.
We can move on. Into quali. Now, we always talk about, like we talked about 5 minutes ago, quali is boring. That was also true this time.
You want to know what my one note was for qualifying?
Say it.
Yay, Oscar!
Yes. I had 2 notes, which were yay, Oscar, and please somebody figure out the Liam situation because he qualified P20 again.
Okay. So my thing with Liam is, right, how did he get into Formula One?
So Liam was very, very good at the lower series. I believe he was also really good in Formula E.
I heard he did Formula E, F3, and F2. Those are the three things.
He was very good in all three of those series. Problem is that doesn't translate to F1, and people like to pretend it does. It simply doesn't.
Okay. And what exactly is Formula E? Is that the electronic one?
Yeah, that's the one that has like the more like environmental stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But
and why don't they try and make F1 more environmentally friendly?
They do, but not.
They're not as fast.
Yeah.
Heard.
Yeah.
Understood. I get it.
But quali was pretty disinteresting. Oscar ended up getting pole. Love that for him. And then we had George sneaking into second. Lando getting third, Max getting fourth, and then Lewis and Charles getting fifth and sixth. I don't know what the fuck happened with the Ferrari's timings, but
weren't they sixth and seventh or fifth and sixth?
Fifth and sixth. They were not eating.
Also, George was a sneaky little snake this weekend because where the fuck did he keep coming from?
I know. I don't know how he
George
kept sliding
kept popping up in like top 5, and I was very confused.
It was very confusing.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was really all of quali. Nothing too crazy happened. And then we get into the race, where once again, nothing too crazy happened, but we do have a couple things to cover. Thing number one, on the opening race of the lap, Lewis and Charles do a little tap.
What was Charles doing?
Listen, I think he just made a little mistake, and that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes.
Give his teammate a little love tap.
Exactly. He just wanted to be close. He just wanted to give him a hug.
He wanted to touch bumpers.
He did. He just wanted to give him a little hug, and that's okay. Max did not do great. Got overtaken by the Ferraris. The car was just dog shit.
Where was Max?
Fifth, right? Something like that. I think it was fifth. The car was just not good. Like, simply not good. Oh, he ended up fourth, but the car started off fifth because Lewis and Charles overtook him pretty much immediately. But vibes were not good.
Yep.
Vibes were not good. Gabriel Bortolet, one of our babies, spun into the gravel on the first lap. He ends up pitting. Vibes are bad. And Nico has dropped 7 places in the P19.
How the fuck?
Sauber is struggling. Notably, because of this whole front wing thing, I want to say this now because it has an impact on the rest of the race. Yes. Charles has a 20 to 30 point loss on his front, is what they say. Basically, his arrow's fucked.
What are these points?
Don't worry about it. His arrow's fucked up.
Okay.
It just means
his arrow's talking about points, and I was like, I didn't get it. Okay, good.
That's okay. His arrow's pretty fucked up. Notably, his arrow being fucked up is the fastest Charles has been all weekend. So, I don't know what they're doing to that car, but they need to make it like the wing is broken.
They did say, they were saying something about...
It makes it more flexible.
Something like that,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
then the force when it goes down.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that makes sense. It didn't.
Yeah. Fernando retires on lap 5.
Why were his brakes on fire?
Probably because of a tear-off or something.
Okay.
Probably.
What did I just say? The man is not that good of a driver, but he gets away with stuff. Like,
a tear-off's not his fault.
A tear-off's not his fault, but, like, sir, you were the only one. All the rookies. Like, come on.
Lance Stroll was still on the track and you weren't.
Anyway.
I'm just being hard on all
Lance Stroll is still chugging along.
Anyway. This was not a great race for Lando. He was struggling a lot. I mean, I think he ended up coming in second anyway, but like he just had a hard time. He had a hard time barely coming in second. We'll talk about why he barely coming in second, but he had a hard time of it. Early on in the race, he starts to talk about his tires being fucked. So we have a long race ahead of us for Lando.
He started talking about his tires back in the sprint. He was constantly talking about his tires this race and sprint.
Yes. So we have a lot of back and forth. I say a lot, not that much back and forth. Nothing of much note happens until lap 20.
Well, before lap 20, we got Spicy Alex on the radio, which I enjoyed.
Oh, yes, we do. I didn't have that in my notes.
I'm better than anyone. He said, I'm good. Yes. I am better than everyone. Let's relax. I'm very comfortable. I said, oh, I literally had to write it down word for word because I said, Alex, goodness. You get a little gas in your Williams and you're just
too much dip on his chip.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to make that note. That was my last note.
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. We don't get anything too interesting until lap 20. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because we start to get some controversy. Because, and I want to point this out, because we use Faith Loves Racing's race notes to supplement our own race notes. Absolutely. And Faith was lied to by the broadcast, the same way all of us were lied to by the broadcast. And notes that Ferrari asks Lewis to swap positions with Charles, and Lewis says when Charles gets closer. They posted a correction today because Ferrari went to them and said, post the whole fucking race radio. Because Lewis told Ferrari, hey, Charles is faster than me, let's swap positions.
Why are people trying to make these two act like, what is this?
Well, now what I will give the broadcasters, right? Because I actually don't think it's the broadcasters' fault.
It's not.
The broadcasters get the same feed that we do. So there is the producers of the feed, which are generally like the race runners produce the feed. They're in charge of like camera direction and everything. And then they send those feeds to all of the different countries that are doing their broadcast, plus F1 TV. So that's why you'll note the camera feed on Sky TV and F1 TV are exactly the same.
Yes.
It's just the commentators are reacting to the feed. Right? They might get some extra stats in their ear, but nobody's going to be like, hey, I'm actually listening to Lewis's radio and that didn't happen. Right? Nobody's doing that. There's not.
Why don't they each have somebody listening to each radio?
Because then you have to hire 20
That's a lot
extra,
of people. That's 20 people.
20 interns? 20 interns?
I mean, they'd be unpaid. We know that. Come on.
That's true. But to note, Lewis is the one who asked to swap with Charles, and he eventually does swap with Charles because he knows that he's faster.
I will say this point of correction
with his broken wing
is that I remember listening to this at 2:00 in the morning, half asleep. It was that the commentators actually originally said, "Oh, Lewis has asked to swap." Then they were like, "Oh, wait, sorry, we were wrong about that. Ferrari has asked Lewis to swap." And I was very confused as to why they thought Lewis was one to ask when I didn't hear anything of the sort on the radio. I didn't hear anything like that. And then I don't know why they made that correction. It was very weird. But it seemed like from everyone's point of view, there was some confusion on what exactly was happening and who asked to.
Okay. But then also, did they have Charles swap with Lewis back in Sprint Quali 2? They did have them swap back in the Sprint Quali.
Quali,
yeah, in SQ2 they had them swap. I don't know, but the way they made it sound was like they swapped position.
They did,
and not position on the track. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, I really don't.
Never mind. I think I wrote it down wrong. No, they had them swap, but it was in a way that didn't make sense to me, which is why I wrote it down, but I didn't write it down properly. But they had them swap way back then. And then they had them, well, I guess now I realize Lewis asked them to swap in the race. I did not know that. Anyway.
Well, yeah. They swapped. Ferrari kind of made them, I guess, everyone correct the record. So that way, because I guess also too, I don't know if they're just trying to like put a stop to it before it becomes like McLaren Papaya Rules 2.0.
Exactly.
So
that's probably exactly what they were trying to do. They probably saw whatever the discourse was. I don't know, and they were like, "Wait a minute, we're not even going to do this."
Yep. All right. Well, we can get into the rest of the race. Honestly, I don't think anything that interesting happens. Yeah, I don't think anything that interesting happens until we get to Lando's brake situation. So I will say, does anybody else have anything about Lando's brake before Lando's brake situation?
No.
Okay. So TLDR. Lando says that his brakes are going too long. And for those who might not know, that is essentially when Lando is like trying to brake. He's not getting like the quick braking action that like he's supposed to be getting, right? He has to press down too far on the brakes to get the same braking reaction, which
His
obviously
brake pads
means,
were rubbed out.
Yeah, if you need to slam on the brakes, slamming on the brakes ain't gonna do shit because you don't have brakes to slam on. And so he is struggling with this, right? And you can visibly see him like losing time to George. And there had been one more lap. George has it. George has it. George was a second and a half behind him, and George gained like what, 5 seconds to him on that last lap? Something crazy.
George was on his neck.
I think if Lando had, I think if there was one more lap, there's a chance Lando has to pull off to the side or something. Because
that's what I was about to say. Like, your brakes going and you're going 200 miles, 159, whatever.
That's no bueno.
Incredibly dangerous. And that's the thing with me in the FIA. You want to control and regulate certain things, but some of this situation, I mean, I haven't. Mm-hmm. Let me back up. I haven't heard the FIA make any comments on this, have they?
No.
But I think it's also, it might be hard for them to be like, oh, hey, your driver has to pull over if his brakes are bad, because
how would you know?
What, like, it's not something you can see visibly.
Mm-hmm. What constitutes a bad brake? And
well, I think the thing with Lando is you could see him having to brake like 300 feet out. Like something really ridiculous where he was braking on the straight leading to a corner because that's the only way he could slow down enough to not crash.
And I'm like, even afterward, Lando was like, that was literally like the stuff of my nightmares, is like not being able to brake. I said, damn.
Exactly. So I'm like, that was super scary for him, I'm sure. But yeah, one more lap, and I don't think he could have continued. Or even if he could, like, the amount of time he would have lost to people, because he literally can't go that... Like, sure, he can speed up on the straights if he wants to slow down immediately to make corner.
But also, back to what Beck said, it's flat out unsafe, because imagine a rookie attempting to do the same thing. I'm sorry, that's not going to end well. Lando has at least more experience to be able to be like, okay, I need to brake significantly sooner, whereas a rookie might not be able to do that, and they might go right off into a wall.
But I feel like that's my last notable thing. They said that there was going to be rain. There wasn't rain.
It just got cloudy.
Yeah, just got cloudy. And yeah, we got Oscar in first, Lando in second, George in third for another sneak podium.
I don't know where that man kept coming out of.
And I wanted to be clear, I'm not saying sneak podium like bad, like he didn't deserve the podium. I'm talking about, I feel like I watched the race and I have no clue where George is.
No clue.
And then
suddenly
the race ends and he's on the podium.
Which good
for him, I guess. Good for him, I guess. But yeah, lots going on there. Insanity.
And then we need to get to post-race.
We need to get to post-race. You know what? I'll actually let you take post-race,
because
Felicia.
The real tea happened after the race.
Let's say, give us the real tea, because I actually don't remember what you're talking about, because once again, I was so sleep-deprived this weekend that I didn't pay attention to anything that happened after that race.
The fact that only... 15 drivers actually got a place?
Oh, yes. Listeners, I completely forgot, so thanks for bringing it up, Felicia, because I would have left this podcast without remembering. Felicia, I have had like 15 hours of sleep in 5 days.
So, I will come in now. Because after Shanghai, we lost Lewis, we lost Charles, we lost Pierre, which, by the way, I heard about Lewis and Charles. And then I went to dig deeper. I said, Pierre, too?
They were handing out disqualifications like Oprah was handing out cars.
They said, you get a DQ, you get a DQ, you get a DQ, you get a DNF, Fernando. But, so basically, okay, so Lewis's was his under box block thing or whatever.
His like a little scrape block was a little bit too thin.
I was watching these two commentators talk about it, and he literally held up an ID card and was like, this is about how much it was off.
Less.
And not even like a ID card standing face up. Like,
it's no, the side view. The side view.
Yeah, and it was less than that.
And then Charles had a weight limit issue. It's only like 1 kilogram off, I want to say. But they did all kinds of stuff. When he came back with the busted wing, they put on a proper wing and then they weighed it and it was like right at weight, and then they took it off and they emptied it the fuel, and then once they took the fuel out, it was
I was like,
so when they did all kinds of stuff to the car, and then all of a sudden it was a kilogram underweight. I was like, but wait, if you moving stuff around like this, you might lose some weight somewhere. I don't know.
Not Felicia, the conspiracy theorist.
I'm just saying.
But that's also the issue with Pierre Gasly as well, was that his car was also underweight.
Right, Pierre was underweight as well. But wasn't he more underweight than Charles?
I believe so, yeah.
Wasn't it a greater discrepancy?
Yes, but sometimes when you are running tires longer than you think you're going to, like if you one stop when you think you should two stop, you'll end up a little bit underweight.
That's what actually ended up happening. Remember
that's what happened with George.
That's what happened to George in Spa.
Yep. There you go.
His rubber wore off. But yeah, we got that finishing order of Oscar, Lando, George, Max, Charles, and Lewis. Lando is still leading the Drivers' Championship by 8 points. Max is on his tail.
The Instagram post that Ferrari put out about like how they're going to try and do better.
Yes,
and then
I saw that.
Someone posted like a little video, like a little image of them reporting Ferrari page, and they're like, "What's the reason?" They're like, "This page is trying to imitate a real F1 team."
That gets posted every race weekend.
Oh, it does. Oh my god, that's the first time I've seen it, and it made me cackle.
That is hilarious.
Every race
I'm gonna need you to send it to me because that sounds hilarious.
Yeah,
but yeah, just funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a good race weekend. Sorry for our boys that they got disqueued. Hate that for them.
And that left Ferrari in what, 5th in the constructors now?
Behind Williams. Ain't that embarrassing?
Right. No.
They're behind Williams.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh my god, wait, because I saw Carlos Sainz fans trying to be like, what was that about Carlos looking at the back of Lewis and Charles's cars?
And I was like, he hasn't seen the front yet, so
that's
all Albon's point. So
that is Alex's hard work. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, can we discuss Oscar's 1/16th Chinese heritage?
Yes, he did bring it up last year. He brings it up again this year, and I'm glad.
Well, actually, no. The guy interviewing him brought it up, and he like felt he looked so awkward, and he goes, "No, but like I'm not joking. Like I am like 1/16th Chinese. He's somewhere in my lineage.
I promise I'm not joking."
He's like, it's not even a joke. And the guy was like, anything to your home crowd, and he's like, hi. I said, oh, Oscar.
That's so funny. All right. Well, we can get into my question of the night. And ladies, I have to ask you, are you aware of morning routine gate?
What the fuck is
men
this
or
now?
women?
Right. Men, girl.
What? Okay, no, talk to me because I don't know.
All right.
It's basically the same thing. It's just weird.
No.
It's weird.
I even got...
Oh, okay.
I copied Twitter links over to our thing so that we can watch it.
Oh,
so,
God.
Listeners, it's only going to be a minute 26, and I'm going to narrate to you what's going on in case I guess we're not posting this to YouTube as a video, so I'm going to narrate to you what's going on. Let me share my screen for my baddies. So we have this guy. I don't know his name.
The actual fuck is happening on my screen?
I don't know his name, and I don't care what his name is.
Well, can we take a little needle and pop his muscles first before we start?
So we have a very jacked black man on our screen.
Why is he up at 3:52 a.m.? Why is his right pec smaller than his left? I don't understand.
Felicia, let's calm down. Okay. Who is awake at 3:52 a.m. He has mouth tape and nose tape on. I do have to say, before we get into this, I saw a very interesting tweet that, in case you don't know, listeners, Gen Z is more sexless and Puritan than any of the generations coming before them. Yep. And somebody pointed out that an obsession with vanity and perfection and like routine and like beauty may be the reason why, because we have all these people going to bed with heatless curlers in and a face mask and mouth tape and nose bridges and eye tape and lash serum and da-da-da-da. How are you going to fuck at night with mouth tape on? And you're not going to fuck in the morning before your morning routine if you're getting up at 3:52 a.m.
Definitely not.
So, when are y'all fucking?
Never.
You're not. That's just sad. That's just sad. Anyway, so this TikTok, at least on Twitter, has 708 million views and has been getting dragged all over Twitter. And I will lightly narrate this for you, but honestly, listener, I think you guys can look up morning routine Twitter and you'll find this video. It's 3:53, and this man is brushing his teeth. And he is rinsing out his mouth with Saratoga bottled glass water.
What the fuck is actually happening on my screen right now?
It's now 4:38, and he's reading the Bible, but fake, because real Protestants know that you listen to the Bible in bed.
Not real Protestants.
I don't know what the Catholics get up to. I'll have to ask. Now, listener, I want to point out, it has been 2 hours in this morning routine, and all this man has done is do a couple push-ups, brush his teeth, and read a little bit of a passage of the Bible.
And he journaled.
And he listened to a little bit of a sermon.
He watched a sermon, it sounded like. Oh, and he did a face cold dunk.
A face cold dunk into the Saratoga water with ice.
Because he only does bottled water, apparently. Does he bathe in bottled water?
Probably. Yeah, he's done nothing for 2 hours. Because once again, real Christians know, you open your Bible in bed. How you gonna get out of the bed without opening your Bible? I don't like that.
You read the Bible before your feet touch the ground.
Yeah, yep. I don't like that. But that's just me.
Oh my god.
Like your mother's show.
And the Van Cleef bracelet. Don't forget the Van Cleef.
Can't forget the Van Cleef on the way to the gym. Oh my god. That was so aggressive. Are your shins okay, sweetheart?
He dived into the pool at 7:36 and landed at 7:40. Just want to point that one out. Just want to point that one out real quick.
Listen, we know the time is never accurate.
No, of course not.
What the fuck? Is he on vacation or is he at home?
This is his house.
That's not his house.
This is his house.
Why are you wearing a watch in the shower, sir? Are you rubbing a banana on your face? Another ice bath. Who is this making you food? What the actual fuck?
And not the hot honey. Not the hot honey. Anyway, so this is the original
Bex.
Anyway, Bex, pull it together. This is the original morning routine. This is the original morning routine video that went viral. And since there have been many spin-offs making fun of him or like copying the audaciousness of the video. Especially the Saratoga water. I've seen a lot of Saratoga water content because why are you using bottled water for these face dunks? Like, please be real.
And to brush your teeth.
That's just a lot.
Brushing your teeth is crazy.
But I did want to show you one of the inspired clips.
Honestly, yes, I want to see this.
Which is this guy, who is in the same market, so I don't think he's fully making fun of him, but it is the same vibe.
Not the alarm. I can't see nothing, babe.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to share my screen.
I heard it start and I was like, I don't see anything, honey.
Completely forgot to share my screen. So sorry.
Sorry? Nope. Absolutely not. What the fuck? Does his wife really do all this for him on a regular basis?
I mean,
the other guy.
These men are lying for clout, you know?
Well, yes.
So I don't believe a single thing that goes on in
But
this.
they have these... Why are the women willingly participating? Well, let me not say they're willingly participating. What the fuck? Okay.
You'll see in a second why I feel that this is especially a fake video.
Did he just eat the lime?
I don't even know. So, I want to point out, one, he gets ice cream brought to him and then goes, I don't want it.
No, thanks.
You asked for the ice cream. So this is obviously a fake video. Obviously, we know influencing is fake.
Yes.
You went to this dinner in a suit without your wife?
Yes. Who dressed you, mind you.
Who dressed you?
Lest we remember.
Notably, I pulled the less ridiculous of these clips. Multiple of these morning routines have the wives bowing to them before they start their morning.
Gross. Also, I want to see them.
I will send them all to you. I've been sending them to my friend Anthony, once again, on the other side of this wall. All day.
What up, Anthony?
But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll send you the morning routine content because it's absolutely ridiculous.
That is absurd. The bottled water kills me. I am so sorry. The bottled water face dunks kill me.
It was a lot, for sure. But ladies, we don't have a race next weekend, so we'll tap in with you with some filler content probably. But what we
iceberg.
We'll think about it. But what we
bro
do have...
Bro, no, I think Bro Sadie's has to be an off-season multi-parter. Never mind.
Yeah. What we will come back with in a couple weeks is the Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka with some beautiful cherry blossoms. And we're looking forward to it. It'll still be in the middle of the night.
Oh, it is going to be cherry blossom season.
It is going to be cherry blossom season. But it'll be slightly better. But yeah, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. We'll talk. And goodbye, listeners and ladies.
Bye-bye. Bye.